Hi everyone, welcome to -4, the new FPL podcast and YouTube show where we try and use our expertise to help you with all of your fantasy Premier League problems. I'm Dave Bradshaw, and joining me a panel of some of football's finest to help us through as we prepare for game week 1 of the 2025-26 season. Let's meet them first at the end.
Hello, it's me, Sullivan. I don't just like board games and wrestling, I also like football too. Yes, oh yes, I've read a few books. Not necessarily on football, but I've read a few.
Picture books.
Yes,
mainly.
Yes, they're very good, they're very good.
And next to Sullivan.
Suga Shaun, been on multiple podcasts across the country, featured on The Overlap and a few others. So, yeah, hopefully my insight to football knowledge is better than the average person.
Okay.
Hopefully.
And lastly,
DJ Lonyo, massive Liverpool fan and certified Arsenal hater. So
nice, nice.
Yeah, come on,
I'm
let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And I'm going to try and do my best because I'm not really the best at Dream Team and fantasy footballs normally, but I'm feeling lucky this year.
Yeah, see, when we say we're some of the great experts in the game, I think we're using the term somewhat loosely. There's other shows you can watch with people in the top 1,000 in the world. What's everyone's best position? I've been in like 1 millionth before, but it's out of 11 million. So
I've been in the top
right.
10,000 a few times.
Okay, so you're
it's not bad.
No.
Last year wasn't my best of years, so I'm trying to bounce
Where was
back.
last year?
I'm pretty sure I was in a couple of hundred of thousands, so it's a bit.
Okay, that's still
okay, but
that's still solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. After scrolling about 10 sheets down, I probably just lost interest and went onto another social media platform. So yeah.
I've certainly placed somewhere. I'm in the list.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to do.
Sullivan is a wildly unpredictable player. I'll
Yes.
tell you that much because we've been in a mini league for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
And the first year, Sully was one of the top contenders in our league of about 10 people.
Yeah.
Last season,
Absolutely dreadful.
disastrous.
Dreadful.
Disastrous.
At a certain point, I just got too depressed looking at it, and and I go weeks and weeks without making any transfers, and I just have like 5 transfers left, and oh no, I'm just going to change everyone for no reason, and they'd always be the wrong ones. But this year, I've got a new policy. Usually, I don't go for my team, Chelsea. I don't go for any Chelsea players because then I have the double whammy.
double depression.
Double depression, exactly. But this year I'm going to be a brave boy. I believe in the boys this year.
Yeah.
So I've gone for a few Chelsea players, but we'll get to that later, I suppose.
Yeah, we have made a cardinal sin here, a cardinal error, I think, in some ways, because as Lonnie said, he's Liverpool, I'm Tottenham, but we've brought in 2 Chelsea fans, so I'm feeling a little bit outnumbered.
Well, we're world champions. That's the thing.
Yes.
You know, we deserve
Well,
it.
kind of
Well,
world champions.
In a very real sense, in the only sense, we are world champions. So.
Well, 2 trophies to Chelsea fans. It has to be.
Exactly.
This is going to be a long
Gonna be a
session.
long day.
Long old session. It was just the hour, wasn't it?
Makes sense.
You get HR.
You've won 1 trophy. You've won 1 trophy. We've won 2.
Well, we are
trophies, we're all being
legitimately
represented.
champions of Europe. And
you're
by the time
a
this goes
champion-
out,
you are
actually,
a champion of Europe.
champions
certainly.
of Europe.
The Diet Coke version.
Europa.
Diet Coke version.
You're champion
Diet Coke
of
version.
Europa.
Other
Yeah.
soft drinks are available, but Diet
Diet
Coke
Coke's
version,
better for you.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
And by the time this goes out, because tomorrow night we're filming this Tuesday, European Super Cup, we might be super champions of Europe.
That'd be pretty.
Which
cool.
I think is better than world champions.
No.
Because
It
there's no
isn't.
super in
It
world
isn't in
champions.
any way.
Anyway, I say we've introduced everyone on the show. There's one person we haven't, I say person, a being we haven't introduced. Here he is. This is Bally. And he is our highly intelligent AI robot. Luckily, you can turn him on and off.
Yeah, he makes a lot of noise, doesn't he?
Those were some expletives there, so I apologise.
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right.
But Bally is I didn't touch him. Is a footballing super robot who.
I thought he was already looking at Sullivan's team.
He's laughing. He's laughing. I'm not pressing anything here, I should just say. So he does very much have a mind of his own.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
good
think
point.
this would be the worst thing to buy a child for Christmas.
Absolutely.
This is like a Furby on.
It's the
on
worst thing for
crack
people to
cocaine.
let me buy, because So, anyway, Bally has selected his own
Wow.
team.
Oh wow!
And throughout the season, we're going to see in our -4 FPL. Enough, Bully, now. Enough. Have a little rest. We're going to see throughout the season how Bully gets on compared to us with his artificial intelligence, picking the best possible 15 every week, seeing if that can beat the brain trust that we have here. Bully's also going to be a major part of our show today. Most weeks we're going to have a forfeit on this show. So for whoever is on the panel each week, whoever of us has had the worst game week in terms of fantasy points, will have to do a forfeit chosen by the rest of us the previous week. And it could get ugly a couple of times, including today. But of course there hasn't been a game week yet. We're ahead of game week 1. And so this week we've put the forfeit in the hands of Bully himself. We're going to look at the squads that we've each chosen a little bit later on. And whoever AI Bully here ranks as the worst of our 4 teams will have to do a forfeit. This week's forfeit, guys, is it's a rough one to start. It's going to have to read out, to close the show, a poem written by Bully about each of our teams. So presumably not entirely complimentary about whether it's Chelsea, Liverpool or Tottenham, and obviously that footage will live forever. So it could be a rough day for some of us. But before we do that, every week we're going to go through some quick fire questions where we hopefully help you with your fantasy team and what you're planning for the week ahead. Every 3 minutes you will hear a whistle as we have to change topics. This is called the Goal Mouth Scramble. We're going to have 5 topics. We're going to go through them quick fire style. You guys ready?
Yes.
With no further ado, let's begin this week's Goalmouth Scramble. All right, and now, first question. Salah and Haaland in this season's FPL, are they must-haves or are they too expensive? Haaland is 14 million, Mo Salah 14.5, which is the most anyone has ever been in FPL. And when you think you've only got a 100 million budget to pick your entire 15, that's a lot of cash, isn't it, Lonyo?
Yeah, being a Liverpool fan, I was doing the same as Sully, really. I don't really put Liverpool players in my fantasy team. And at 14.5, and especially after performance in the Charity Shield, I just thought, I don't want to jinx it, so I didn't put him in my team this year, unfortunately. But if you want goals, you should bank on Salah, but I didn't want to curse him or jinx him, so I didn't put him in my team this year.
Yeah, a little fact for you, he's never blanked in game week 1, always got a goal or an assist. His average is 12.25 points per game.
Bloody hell.
I think that must be in week 1, because that's not all season, that can't be. So
On game week 1.
we haven't fact checked this. Anyway, he's good. That's the point. First 5 game weeks as well, Sean. You look at one of the things you've got to think about when you're thinking whether someone is worth having is captaincy, right?
Yep.
Game week 1, Bournemouth at home this weekend. Burnley away in week 4, Everton at home week 5. There's some pretty tasty looking fixtures for potential Salah captaincy there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's been a battle of like mind games. It's like you build one team that's got no Salah and sometimes Haaland in it, and then you go for a Salah and Haaland based team. But then, like you said, this year for me, I normally don't stick with my Chelsea players, but I'm hopeful that we actually play well. So getting Cole Palmer into the team, who is also very expensive, probably like the second or third most expensive.
10.5, isn't it?
10.5 million, yeah. So he's now also having to be considered, and putting all 3 of them in, that's a third of your budget on 3 players out of 15. So to try and I've done one overnight to see what it looks like with Haaland, Salah and Cole Palmer in it, and it doesn't look too bad. It could be a potential thing for me to sway from that to that. My friend last year when we was in our mini league, in our private league, and he said I'm not having Haaland in the whole season, and he won the league. So it's very possible for
Did he stick to that?
He stuck to that, yeah.
No
the whole
Haaland.
season, no Haaland in the league. So it's possible to be able to have one, I think, of the 2 not being in it if you don't expect them to reach the heights like you thought. With the whole new Liverpool team as well, Florian Wirtz might be an option to have instead of Salah as a cheap option in midfield, who has also had quite a good pre-season with goals and assists.
So is it right then that you have to have at least one of them?
I think you have to have at least one, and I would say Salah is the one that you would have over Haaland. I think if it could be one of those things where Haaland could be like how he was in that first season, and it's just like, oh, he is actually a must-have. But I think that now I feels like teams have worked Haaland out a bit more Not fully, because he's still a great goal scorer by all means, but he's not as like insanely prolific as he first was. Whereas Salah is just still banging in the goals. Will he be able to do it? Continue to? He is aging. He's becoming an old man, but
he looked a bit pedestrian in the charity shot. I know it's still before the season started. As a massive Liverpool fan, I was supremely underwhelmed. With that, and Mitchell took him out his back pocket and put him back on the bus. I was very upset.
That was our whistle. we got to move on. Can't be spending too long on these topics. Next topic, we'll start with you this time, Sally, because you didn't get very long on the last one. What's your strategy for using your first set of chips this season? And the reason we asked that, of course, is there's been changes to the rules in the bonus chips you can use. The bench boost, the triple captain, what am I forgetting?
I was going to say the assistant manager, but they got rid of
no,
it.
No.
Free hit.
Free hit.
Might go in the wild card, yes.
There you go. Wild card, you already got 2 per season.
Yeah.
The other 3, 1 per season. Now you're getting the same as you get with the wild card. So you're getting 1 for weeks 1 to 19, 1 for weeks 20 to 38. If you're like me, most of your chips you didn't use till the end of the season when there's those double game weeks with FA Cup games, meaning stuff got mixed up. Now you've got to use those in the first 19 weeks. So what's the plan?
Well, I think with wildcards, I like to use them during international breaks, at the end of international breaks. It's quite nice because there's a bit of a reset and it feels like a reset for my brain. I always have a problem where I'm too conservative with my chips. I save them and then suddenly I'm like, oh no, I've got to use like 3 in a week. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to try and not do that this year. And obviously double game weeks are obviously huge, but they're not really going to happen until the second half of the season, you'd imagine. So in this first half, it's very, very, very difficult. I think it's got to be like your triple captain is going to be one of the most important in this situation. You've got to find a situation where your Salahs, your Palmers, or your Haalands are going to be facing off against a team that is just being absolutely smashed every single week, and hope that they can get like a hat-trick or something like that.
Did anyone thought about using one of their chips this week? Get off to a flyer.
I thought about it.
Sure.
There would be a few people that probably will be using that, but I think I'll just target. It's more It's actually quite more interesting now. When I first got introduced to it and they said they're going to double it up, I'm thinking, it makes things less important, so people can just get away with a one random week. But it's probably going to differentiate a lot of people, because now you're going to have a lot of opportunities for individual game weeks where it's only going to be probably an individual game week where you get to use your chip on a triple captain. So like you said, like it could be a City versus Burnley, you try to triple captain Haaland and he blanks that week, and it could be a big differentiation between someone who captains someone on week 14 against Brighton and someone scores a hat-trick against Brighton, whether it be Salah or whoever. So it's going to be a massive differential in terms of points throughout the first half of the season, I think, rather than everyone knowing when they're going to have to focus on the double game weeks towards the end of the season.
I think it makes the better players do better. The better FPL players. I think it eliminates some of the luck, because it means the ones who are more strategic with their chips are going to be the ones who, which I like to think in my mind is me.
But don't you find it too common? Like that the week of where the double game week is, everyone's either got their triple captain or their bench boost. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of predictable where everyone uses it in one go. Now, at least the first half of the season, like you said, it could be game week 1, and someone's blown a triple captain already. Yeah. So I think it makes it more interesting.
Lonyo, what's your strategy with the chips?
I think, given that it's my first time using this format, I'm going to try and use them, like as Shaun said, not when everyone else is using them, and try and maybe gain an advantage and try and seek when the best time is. Like I said, it's new for me, so I've got to just be careful. I don't want to waste it. And when you asked, maybe one of us would use it in week 1, I was like, no, I don't want to be the first up, make an absolute score.
Don't want to blow it.
Yeah, don't have to make a schoolboy.
That was a whistle, Lonyo. We'll stay with you though, because we're going to come to our next question. Should you spend bigger on defenders with the scoring changes this season? Now let's recap what those are for anyone who isn't aware. So any defender who reaches a combined total of 10 clearances, blocks, interceptions or tackles in a match will get 2 FPL points. You can only get that once, so you can't get like 4 points if you do 20 or anything like that. But it does mean that there's additional points to be won for defenders. You can get them for midfielders and forwards as well. There's slightly different rules, but mainly it's just going to affect defenders. Normally the defenders, I don't know about you guys, everyone's, I spend 4.5 million on a defender, save the big money for your Salahs and your Haalands. Does this change that?
It's slightly for me in the sense that I've looked at defenders that can defend really well and also maybe pose a a problem going forward as well. I've resisted again putting Liverpool players in there because I'm too emotional to put those players in there. If we concede, I'm absolutely going to be devastated.
Isn't that going to hurt you though? Like, you know, Liverpool, this pains me to say this, but Liverpool are probably far and away the best team in the league this season.
On paper.
On paper.
On paper, yeah. I'm not getting sucked into it just yet. On paper, we look good, but you know, the eye test on Sunday in the Charity Shield against Crystal Palace. You know, I think we flagged, and Frimpong looks good going forward, but you know, there's massive holes at the back. You know, and same with Kirkus to an extent. So I just feel like
you just signed Guehi. Personal agreements.
No, don't say that because I'll go mad. I'll go topless if you say that.
Mark Guehi,
Sure.
Mark Guehi just agreed personal.
This is just happening as we're filming.
I love you. I love you.
This could yet go wrong though.
Personal agreements and then the club just.
When they edit this, if this goes out and we haven't signed it, I'm going to find you.
When Fabrizio normally says it,
here we go.
Yeah,
but Fab's been a bit loose.
Sometimes.
His stories have required a belt, a tightening mechanism, because they're a bit loose sometimes. But yeah, sorry, back to the question. I'm really happy.
Let's go to Sean because we're going to run out of time otherwise. we're on a quick turnaround here. So, Sean, defenders, what's the plan?
Yeah, I think everyone's always kind of like been the strategy of having wing backs or full backs as your options, because obviously everyone wants a goal or an assist from your defenders if you're not predominantly a good header of the ball. So now that kind of mixes a few things in. Obviously, if you feel like teams will get clean sheets, for me personally, last year it was like goals galore and no one really ever kept a clean sheet. So you could probably focus more on the more expensive side of the players on the forward end rather than trying to balance your team all around. But there's a couple of players that are probably good at being able to combat with the challenges and stuff like that. Like I think even personally, even at Chelsea, like Cucurella, very, very good with defensive blocks and all that kind of stuff, and also gets to go forward. So it does bring some centre-backs back into conversation. So a lot of people might have a lot of centre-backs that are playing for the weaker sides that potentially could have good fixtures, clean sheets, but also pick up the 2 extra points for defensive blocks and stuff.
It changes maybe, Sully, the formation as well, right? Because most people normally play 3 at the back. But maybe we're going to see some 4-3-3s and 4-4-2s now.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be good, because I've always felt that the one thing that's always frustrated me about FPL is that you don't actually ever make a team that makes any human sense, because you're playing 4 left backs at the back, and it's stupid, and it isn't very good at being able to really take into account the positive things of less offensive players. Like N'Golo Kante was one of the best players in the league, and you'd never pick him in your fantasy team. It made no sense whatsoever that you would never pick a player like that. So I'm glad that they finally brought this in. It also increases the value of someone like Van Dijk, who's already actually quite a high-scoring defender, even though he's a centre-back. He's quite a high-scoring defender in FPL, and he's going to get even higher after things like this. I mean, it's going to be very expensive. I don't know if you go for someone like Van Dijk. I think Cucurella is a much better option, as you said. But
you said you get them for midfielders as well, though. So Declan Rice might even be even more important.
The midfielder thing.
What is Caicedo?
But the whistle just went, so we're going to have to go. But just very quickly, since you asked, with midfielders and forwards, it's also counting towards your 10 or whatever is ball recoveries. So because you've got an extra way of making, you've got to get 12, not 10. To get you 2 points. That wasn't far too confusing, which I think it was. So, next question. Will Man United ruin Mbeumo and Cunha? So, Mbeumo and Cunha last season, Mbeumo got 236 points for Brentford, Cunha 178 for Wolves. They were among the best scorers in FPL. Now they're at Man United, who are notorious for ruining everything, Sean.
Yes. I've been kind of more of the fact that it's probably to blame for Amorim and his system for why that one of them, I think, will be ruined, because obviously he's tried to play the 5 at the back or 3 at the back, however you want to call it. And obviously Amad Diallo was such an important player for them throughout the middle of the season before he got injured. He's going to have to incorporate him into the side somewhat. I think he's better than even Cunha and Mbeumo, me personally. So if he plays him at right wing back and they play that back 3 and Dorgu plays on the left wing back, I feel like having Bruno Fernandes, where's he going to play? Like, are you going to really try and go into a season with a 2-man midfield of Ugarte? Obviously, they're trying to be linked with Baleba, but can you go in there and have Bruno Fernandes playing in the centre midfield role beside one defensive midfielder? I don't think it works. And then having Sesko, Mbeumo and Cunha. I think personally, Cunha or Mbeumo are going to obviously have to sit down if they're to play that kind of a system. because I can't see Bruno Fernandes playing in that 8 role. So if they play a back 4, then all 3 of them can play. It might be able to work. But in terms of what Amorim wants to play, I think he might ruin that kind of ability to get the best out of all 3.
Do you think either of them are going to have the kind of season they had last season? It's so hard with United, because United. I read something today and I agreed with it 100%, that 8 games in, United could be top of the league in an absolute shocker, or they could be bottom of the league and Amorim gets sacked. You've got no idea what's going on with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's right. It was it's. I feel like Manchester United are the biggest example of a club that has no joined up thinking. And they spend so much money every single year, and they always look like good purchases. Like, I remember thinking, Jadon Sancho, what a purchase! That's a great. Oh, that's such a great get. And then you just see them fall completely flat every single time. I think Amorim's a good.
Happened with Sancho at Chelsea.
Sancho at Chelsea
Kind of.
was better than Manchester United, and we also didn't spend £80 million on him, so it was not so bad.
We did have to spend £5 million to send them back, though.
Just to send them back.
That was a very expensive taxi.
I think in Burnwell will be a better fit for United. I think there's less of an ego there. I think there's more of a willingness to do the work and maybe carry out instructions. I think Cunha, if it's not going right, you might see the toys out the prime scenario, and I think out of the 2, I think Mbeumo would be more of a success than Cunha, in my opinion.
All right, it's good timing because the whistle went on our last topic of the day, and it's quite simply: will Chelsea players be knackered after your little friendly japes in the United States over the summer? Are you tired?
I mean, me personally.
Not you personally.
No, I'm fine.
As a squad.
But I think Christmas is the time where we'll find that out. I think we'll actually have very, very good positive momentum going into the beginning part of the season, and then Christmas is where everyone's going to have sleepy bodies. It's going to be difficult, especially as we've got quite an easy start to the season. So as we go into Christmas, the fixture is going to be a bit more difficult. And I think it's going to be
a bit like last year, then.
Yeah, exactly like yeah. We could go through that mid-season slump again. I think it could be potentially the thing that will stop us from being properly in the title race.
But I mean, obviously Christmas is a long way away in FPL terms, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Sean, do you think? I'm just thinking, if you're thinking now, you're plotting your FPL team as millions of people are. We talked about Cole Palmer already and how he might fit in. Do you think it's reasonable to be hesitant about picking Chelsea players because they've had the shortest pre-season of anyone?
I don't think so. I think the pre-season was kind of, in a way, I think it was the best kind of thing, because we got to go in it straight at the end of the season. Everyone seemed to be quite fit and no troubles with the injuries for most of the players. Obviously, we've suffered now with Kogel, but I feel like now the little 2 games that we've had separated against each other now, it's just a warm back up for the players, and I feel like we'll be fine. I feel like we've got like 85 players in our squad, so I'm pretty sure we'll be okay with a bit of rotation. But we've got a lot of players, so I'm not really concerned with our team's fitness for the most of the season, to be honest.
Well, let's get the only non-Chelsea fan on the count. Let's get a relatively neutral. Neutral. Would you think twice about Chelsea players?
No, not for me. I actually think Chelsea are gonna. I think that pre-season or the World Club Championship that they won was great for them, because it was like a competitive pre-season, and they won it as well. It's not like they took part; they won it. So when you're in that winning mentality, in that winning engagement, everyone's bouncing off. They can't wait to come back, and you saw that in the pre-season games when they played. They had a couple of pre-season games, so they're probably chomping at the bit. Plus the average age of that Chelsea team is young, and when you have that young energy, when you have that vigor, and you want to play often, and especially if they've got quite a kind of nice starting set of fixtures, you'll see Chelsea probably pump teams 3 or 4.
Confidence is key with youngsters.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll be all doing bits. So for me, there's no. I think I've got a couple of Chelsea players in my team. You'll see later on. I think they're gonna. They could be the early season setters.
It does feel like Maresca. We're gonna have to stop, but Maresca is starting to get the best out of Palmer. Palmer being obviously the star FPL.
Hopefully. I want him to go back to the right-hand side. I think when he played throughout the most of the season, towards the end of the season last year, playing in that central role when he played off the left-hand side, weren't his best position. I think he likes to play on the right and roam inside. So hopefully he goes back there. But then now we've got Estevao here, so
Yeah,
He's a problem.
he's so
Anyway,
good.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
Final whistle's gone. We played Answer the Whistle.
Yeah,
Sorry, extra time.
We get booked for dissent, I think. That's hard with that kind of time limit.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it is,
Anyway,
yeah.
so hopefully that was useful. That's this week's Goalmouth Scramble. If you want to contribute, if you want to ask any questions for next week's Goalmouth Scramble or any time during the season, we'll have all the details of how you can contact us in the description, so make sure you get in touch. Now, we're going to do a quiz.
Fun.
Because everyone likes quizzes.
I like quizzes.
So if you... Lonyo's already setting out his stall here. He's planning on coming
If
last.
there's 3 of us, I'm definitely in the top 3. That's good.
Let's, we got whiteboards under there. Everyone want to grab one of those and a pen.
Yes.
Let's get the pens out.
So I've got
please.
5 questions here.
Thank you so much.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
This isn't strictly FPL. This is,
Thank
but
you.
this opening weekend. So questions about the history of opening weekend in the Premier League. This for you guys at home, as I say, although it's not directly related to FPL, if there's people who are getting more wrong or more right, then that might give you some clues about about who's got the most,
Lowest ever viewing
knowledge.
figures for me.
Who you can trust when they're giving you FPL advice. All right, we'll do these one at a time, so we'll reveal each one as we go. Question 1. Who beat Manchester United 2-1 in the first ever Premier League game in August 1992?
Oh, go on, Lonnie.
Oh gosh.
I think.
I'd have to
Was
have
everyone born in 92?
Yeah,
I
I was,
certainly
but I
was.
was only 3.
I was 48, so yeah.
I was 1 years old.
Go on, Lonnie.
You think you got it, have you?
1 out of 10. 's not
Yeah.
bad.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna.
It's out of 5.
Oh, is it? Okay.
20% already.
I
if
mean,
you got this right.
I feel very confident.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm punting here.
I think I've got this.
Everyone got an answer?
Yeah.
Well, Sean, you don't think you do know.
No, I don't.
So let's turn yours over and
I
see
went
what
for
it says.
Blackburn. I don't think it was
Blackburn.
Blackburn, but I'm just punting.
Okay. Lonyo. Sheffield United. Okay. Sully.
I don't know whether this is the year where they famously you don't win anything with kids, but Aston Villa. I know that was Aston
The
Villa.
correct answer, I can tell you, Sheffield United.
Oh,
good.
well
Get in
done.
There we go. They
I
won.
was very
is
worried
well
once he
done.
thought it.
Is that my Uber? I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, it was Sheffield United. They won 2-1. Brian Dean scored the first goal in the history of the Premier League after just 5 minutes. All right, question 2. Which big summer signing scored the 4th and decisive goal for the mighty Tottenham on opening day in 1994 as Spurs won 4-3 away at Sheffield Wednesday? Which big summer signing scored the 4th and decisive goal for Tottenham on opening day in 94 as they won 4-3?
Easy peasy.
Oh.
This is bad.
Easy peasy, squeeze the lemon.
These are too old for me.
Hey, look.
We're getting modern after this. So
I
we'll do
wasn't-
2 oldies and then
Jesus.
we'll...
I wasn't even 3 years old when this happened, and I'm fairly certain.
I need to watch more
Oh,
Premier
nah.
League years, man.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I think I got it wrong. I think I got it wrong.
I don't know.
Lonyo, as our sage so far, based on the
No,
first
it's-
question, you want to give us yours?
Yeah, it's not this. I've gone for Celeste.
So there's Ferdinand.
Oh, so Les.
Sean?
I just went with Klinsmann.
Klinsmann.
I think it might
Okay.
be Jurg.
Jurgen Klinsmann, yeah,
I
surely,
think
surely.
It might be Big Jurg.
The correct answer. One of the greatest foreign signings of all time, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah, but see,
Which means we're on 1 point each.
fantastic.
I was
it, I
not
told you,
confident with that
I'm
at all,
done.
so
Yeah.
I've done well
We're
there.
up to a tie.
As soon as I said it, I was like, why did you do that?
I mean, was there any bigger summer signing in the 1990s than
I
Jurgen
know,
Klinsmann?
to be fair.
What a man. What a man.
What a man!
Next question. Bruno Fernandes got a hat-trick for Man United as they beat Leeds 5-1 in the opening game in 2021. But who got the assist for 4 of United's 5 goals? So Fernandes with a hat-trick 2021 opening day. Who got 4 of the 5 assists? This isn't long ago, Sean.
Yep.
So you can't say this is a
Yep, this is a more recent
ancient
one.
history.
I remember watching this live because I was about to go to a Chelsea game and they were the early kickoff, I'm pretty sure. And
Yeah.
I remember watching them on the telly.
This was Leeds' first game back, I want to
Yes,
say.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, after they've been down for years. Okay. Let's go with you then, Sean. What
Yeah.
you got?
Paul Pogba.
Paul Pogba. Lonyo?
Paul Pogs.
Paul Pogba.
Bull Pogba.
Paul Pogba. Too easy. It was too easy. So we're on 2 points each with 2 questions left. This is
Squeaky
tense.
bum time now.
It is.
It's
It's tense.
Clenching now.
All right, you ready? Question 4 of 5 about opening weekend. With 9 goals and 5 assists, who is the Premier League's all-time leader for goal involvements on opening weekend? With 9 goals and 5 assists, who is the Premier League's all-time leader for goal involvements on opening weekend? Everyone got something?
I've got something.
Sullivan Brown, let's see.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
The King Mo.
The King Mo. I've written these too easy, these recent ones. All right, so that's a point, everyone. Mo
It's
Salah.
because you mentioned that
Yeah,
point
you mentioned
earlier
it
on about
earlier,
Mo
but-
Salah
Yeah,
being
he's never had
having
a
an
blank.
average of 12 points at game week 1.
Oh, yeah. Good, see? That's foreshadowing. It was
Dave, you could be
deliberate.
my quiz master anytime, mate.
It's making us look good.
Salah is,
Honestly.
he got a goal and an assist on opening day last year in a 2-0 win at Ipswich.
Ipswich.
Yeah, remember that?
That was a great goal by.
Speaking of last year, final question. What record did Ashley Young set on opening weekend last year?
Ooh.
Aha!
Ooh.
A tough one. What record did Ashley Young set on opening weekend last year? Got you with that one.
You have
Oh gosh. Sugar.
A couple more seconds. Get something written down.
this is
It's not the one I
What
thought.
do you think at home? Anyone got this?
I don't
Schoolboy.
think my answer is right.
Nor do
I-
I.
Yeah.
I'm quite
Um,
confident that it's wrong.
There is-
Yeah.
By the way, there is no tie break here, and we're currently on 3 points each. So,
Oh, great.
so
yeah.
this might have been a colossal waste of time. No one's going to win it.
I'm just going to write this down. I know it's wrong.
All right, everyone ready? Lonyo, you go first.
I know it's wrong. I don't even want to show. Oldest outfield player.
Oldest outfield player. Sean?
I just went with most yellows.
Most yellows.
I went for oldest outfield starter.
It is something to do with being the oldest.
Wow.
He became the oldest player to be sent off in the Premier League at 39 years old. Sorry, 39 years and 39 days old.
So just a load of IKEAs at the moment.
So a combination of kind of like both of our
Yes,
ones.
it's a melange. It's a melange.
We'll give you half a
essentially.
point each, so at least Sully's not one of the winners. Yeah, that seems
Well,
fair.
I
Anyone
got
but
oldest
Chelsea?
outfield starter. Why am I
that's
not
right.
getting
That's
half?
right. Yeah, it's a combination
Oh
of
yeah,
all
wait,
three.
a combination of all
Yeah.
three.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what would be
A
funny
third
to
each.
include Sullivan.
What's that score at the end?
3-all.
Oh, a load of IKEA draws.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully someone at home got 5 out of 5. But- Right,
Thrilling.
it is time to get to the meat of our episode today because we're going to reveal our teams, each of us who we've put in our squad. Now, obviously, this is a little caveat here. It's Tuesday as we're doing this. Premier League kicks off on Friday. I don't know about you guys, but I fully reserve the right to completely change everything that's currently in my
100%
team
same here.
at least 17 more times before Friday. But we're going to look at each of ours, including Bally here. In fact, we'll do his first in a second so we can see what supposedly the ideal starting 11 is this weekend. But I want to talk team names first. What's everyone's strategy? You can share your team name if you want with us, but at the very least, I want to know your philosophy. Sully, what do you do? Are you on the pun train?
100% on the pun train.
Yeah.
And not only that, it has to be an original pun. I'm not going around, other FPL teams or subreddits or whatever it is and seeing the other puns that everyone else is using. No, I'm going to make them up myself. I've had great ones like Too Cool for School. That was extremely good and no one praised it anywhere near enough. And then the other one was Bowley for Soup last year. Fantastic. Excellent work, Sullivan. Thank you very much. I agree. And this year, it's my stupidest one yet. Not as clever as the others. It's Joao Pedwao. Does it work? No, not really. I really tried to make a pun around Enzo Maresca's name, but that's really difficult. I got Enzo Maracas, and that didn't really work. So Joao Pedwao is what I've got for. Yeah.
Okay. Is everyone else punning on their?
No, I'm
No?
quite boring.
Okay.
Literally just Suga Shaun FC.
No, you know what? I respect that. Though.
Yeah, that's
Because
brave.
I do think everyone has started doing what Sully's talking about, which is you go online and you go, here's an article with 100 FPL pun names.
It's the real dad ones. It's like my dad, Thomas. My dad's name is Thomas, so he's gone with Thomas the Frank
Thomas
Engine.
the Frank Engine. That's a classic.
So
this
it's a
season.
classic. Do you know what I mean?
You want
But
some more? I've got
yeah.
some more here
Yeah, go
from
on.
this season. Come Dean with me. as in Digene with
Oh,
M-E-E.
Digne, yeah.
Digne.
At least that's got two. It's a double pun. So Blink One Etu. Blink One Etu.
Want it?
Blink One Etu.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely fucking dreadful.
That could be as worse as your one.
Yeah, at least I've owned it.
I respected your first one. What was the first one?
Oh, it was
Too cool
wicked.
for school.
Yeah,
Too cool for school.
That's
That's
good.
good.
That's
It's
Yeah,
very
that's
good.
wicked.
Everyone agrees, and I'm glad about it.
Living Saliba Loca.
Yeah, I've seen that a few
That's
times.
okay.
That's
I can live
all right.
with
Yeah,
that.
I'm happy with that.
Under my cucarella. Ella.
Are you even allowed to have it that long?
Yeah. Are you sure? I think
Are you,
and sure is S-H-A-W. So that's another double one.
Okay, yeah.
So you're not happy?
It's a bit weak.
No.
Bit weak.
Cancelo culture.
I've seen that.
Topical.
Yeah.
Topical.
That's
in the news.
yes.
There's loads of these. Please call back later.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Jack
Like
Cole.
that.
And then there's several Florian Wirtz ones this year.
Oh yeah.
Wirtz case scenario. Wirtz nightmare. Make the Wirtz decision. There's loads of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lonyo, you're a punner?
No, I think I'm boring. I think I've just Lonnie Benitez because
Okay.
there's a big, massive love towards Rafa. So, and my mates used to call me Benitez because I'd go on about Liverpool so much. So
Yeah.
I've just kept it Lonnie Benitez.
I've gone for quotes now. I was a punner. I did losing my Regulon and all of the good Tottenham ones. I will admit I was half looking for a Brennan Johnson one this year after he became an all-time hero of professional football this summer.
With Tony
But
Potts.
I got like Brennan Jerry's. But I was like,
Brennan
no.
Jerry's.
So I was like, no, I'm gonna. So last season I did a quote. I did Shearer. I said pressures for tyres. Thought when he said that in the penalty shootout. This year I've just gone with who we are, mate. Because Ange,
Yeah, that's very good.
what a man.
That's very good.
What a hero.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how a man who can replace charm with just saying the word mate after every sentence and everyone still like it.
Well, clearly not good enough to stay in his job. No,
Not
good enough to stay.
Thanks for the trophy. Bye.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
now,
we'll see him soon, though.
Yeah.
You think
Oh, yeah.
where?
Yeah.
What, in the Premier League
Yeah,
again?
I think he'll be making a return to one of the early exits.
You think he'll be
West Ham.
in like a
West Ham.
mid-low table
Yeah.
Premier League team again
Yeah.
soon?
I could see him at West Ham.
Was he going to Saudi? I thought he got approached by. I don't
Is
think
it?
it ever. I'm sure I heard that he got approached by one of the Saudi teams with big money.
Maybe, I'm not
thing.
sure.
All right, but with that, let's have a look at the squads that we've all picked. And as I promised, we're going to give you Ballies first. Bally, how you doing? Let's turn you back on so you can explain this. I see. Thank you.
You can't
So-
say that in this day and age.
Yes.
Yeah. God, it's 2025. Let's have a look. This is supposedly. I will tell you this. Let me get the what AI thinks this is worth. This one. This is, according to Bally himself. Admittedly, he's rating his own team here, but he thinks he's going to get 68.9 points. So 69 points basically. He reckons this is good for this weekend, which is a score of 98% in terms of how good it could possibly be. This is what AI is saying. So Sanchez in goal, Pedro Porro, Milenkovic, Van der Ven, Tottenham double in the back three. Tielemans, Mo Salah is captain there. Saka, Dewsbury Hall, Palmer, and then Watkins and Mateta up front. That's the 11. Is anyone looking at that and thinking that
I'm not worried.
you're not worried?
No, I think the front two, considering that you want your strikers to get goals on opening game week, I think Watkins might have, even though he's had a great pre-season,
Yeah.
I don't know if Newcastle at home is the easier of fixtures for as an option. Mateta as well, also Chelsea away. I'm expecting Chelsea to beat Palace away, Palace at home. So the midfield looks quite good, and the back line makes sense. So yeah, it looks overall quite decent. Good players in there for the long run as well. So yeah, it's not bad.
What was with the Porro Van der Ven
Double.
double?
Gives
Gives me
Burnley.
cautious reason. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
against Burnley at home.
Van der Ven is quite cheap. He's 4.5, and like you said, with the defensive contribution points, he might be one of those players that might nick them 2 extra points, even though he's not really a fullback that can get assists. He can also challenge from corners for headers, so it's not a bad cheap option for 4.5 to accommodate your Salahs and possibly Haalands.
Plus, I think with Thomas Frank being the manager, they'll be a little bit more disciplined, Tottenham, and a little bit
Maybe a little.
tighter shape.
Yeah, well, we can't be any less disciplined.
But I like the Dewsbury Hall. one as well. I think he'll get a lot of game time at Everton.
Yeah.
The Jack Grealish combination with him and Ndiaye, I think he might be able to get a few assists as well.
Okay. Let's have a look. Anyone else got any thoughts on that one?
No, I think that's
all right. In that case,
perfectly.
we're going to look at.
I think he's shooting for the stars though. 69 points from.
Opening.
I think Ballie's under a bit of
Ballie's
pressure because AI, I suppose, super intelligence, better than all of us, can use all the data in the world and can process it in a matter of seconds. If this doesn't come off for him, if we all beat him,
he's going to have to read his own poems out.
Yeah.
reputation's in the bin.
The electric one.
next week.
Yeah, not the special one, the electric one.
Yeah, right. Like Sullivan, let's go to you. We're going to go up the line here.
Take a look at this team.
This is yours.
I've gone 4 at the back here. I've got Jordan Pickford in goal, and then I've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Cucurella, Munoz, and Aina, and then Salah, Elanga, Palmer, and then Chris Wood, Raul Jimenez, and João Pedro up top.
Was that just because you needed him to?
Yeah,
Otherwise the name doesn't
align with the team.
Everything looked ridiculous. I've gone triple Chelsea, and I'm spooked by it already. It'll probably change before Friday because I'm too spooked. But yeah, I'm thinking I've got a lot of defenders, but I'm hoping that maybe this will pay off with the new defensive points system. Hopefully,
Okay.
I think I can do pretty well with this. I don't know what AI thinks. I don't care what AI thinks.
Let's ask him. What do you think?
All right, you don't need to say that about my mother, but
Yeah,
she's nothing to do with this.
Maybe potentially taking a gamble on Konsa instead of Munoz on the triple Chelsea.
Yes.
Potentially, or just dropping Munoz down and maybe having Rodgers if he's fit, possibly. I'm giving you tips. So I don't think I should be giving you tips.
Thank you.
No, but Raul, I think now coming back into the side, obviously last year it was a bit of a question mark over him and Munoz of who would start. So I think he's kind of cemented maybe his start to the start of the season as well. So he might be a good cheap option.
It's one of the most frustrating things in game week 1 as well, isn't it? That sometimes there's just some completely wild picks in terms of who the managers pick, and you think, Salah doesn't play for some reason.
But then some people also don't plan ahead.
Yeah.
And especially with the opening game week, there are quite difficult fixtures with big sides playing against big sides. So you're going to see quite probably early a couple of the chips of even the wild cards being used after game week 4 or 5 to accommodate them fixtures. So,
Okay. Sean, should we have a look at yours?
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
I think we've got the 3 same Chelsea players. That's what I was waiting to say. Because I think that is the key for Chelsea, I think, this year in terms of output. I think Cucurella obviously showcased he was like our top goal scorer in the second half of last season when Palmer went dry. So, Cucurella, Palmer, João Pedro, 50+% of the public have got João Pedro in their side. And I really wanted to accommodate Palmer in the side. Obviously, this is a team without Mo Salah and Haaland. But I've also got, like everyone probably has, is a Haaland and Salah-based team. So I went for more of a balanced all-round team, thinking that I could be able to rotate throughout the first couple of weeks. Marmoush, as an example, instead of Haaland as an alternative, I feel like they were forced to find a system now to accommodate Marmoush, and they've gone with more centralised kind of forwards rather than the wingers in Doku. And obviously they've sold Savio now. They might bring in Rodrigo, but Marmoush, I think he should be a good option for City on the cheaper end of things.
See, my thinking on Marmoush is that, Pep Roulette, you never know who's going to play. Haaland is pretty much your best bet for someone who is going to start. So with City, I kind of think wait for Haaland to, if he has to miss a few weeks or something, because then Marmoush is probably going to play up top, and yet you can pick him as a midfielder because that's what they've
listed him.
I think they
classified him as.
Yeah, but I think they might just play him. Like that's the thing. He's classified as a midfielder, and I think they might even play him most of the season with Haaland as well in the side. It's I'm taking a big gamble early with Marmoush in that side for this.
Well, I mean, your captain.
I like it though.
No, he might not be my captain. I might be João Pedro captain or Cole Palmer captain. I haven't necessarily put that in.
Both of you. I noticed this. Oh, you did this as well. Yeah. Vice captain in keepers.
That's just not set yet.
Yeah,
I haven't set my vice.
But
Grealish obviously still got the Manchester City kit. Obviously he's not there. So having him at Everton, I think he's a good option. Kudus, very cheap option as well, but also in that kind of middle of the road, 6.5. I think Kudus can easily hit the ground running. Gibbs White obviously was massive for Nottingham Forest. And then Yeah, I just wanted to have Ait Nouri and Cucurella in the side because I feel like Ait Nouri's going to get massive points this season if he's playing in that wing-back system, and so is Cucurella with his at-the-back stick kind of like headers and stuff like that and maybe crosses, so...
I do think you're both of you you're gambling. You're going to be playing a very angry Crystal Palace team.
yeah. But also they might be drained from that cup game. So
True.
And then I've got obviously a good. I always wanted to have a decent bench. I don't like having players that are not going to be available to play when people are trying to accommodate Haaland and Salah and a couple of the big players. Some people have got players that are 4.5 million and not even going to pay. Like I think Alex Moreno's like 15%, 16%. Because he's so cheap, but then he's probably getting sold.
So let's just go this team in full. So it's Pickford, Konsa, Cucurella and Ait Nouri at the back, so back three. Then 5 in midfield, Gibbs White, Marmoush, Grealish, Kudus and Palmer, and then Gyökeres and João Pedro up top. And then your bench, that you were just talking about, Petrovic, Aina, Mikolenko and Wissa. Is Wissa going to...
Depending whether he stays or not.
Yeah, because I mean he's a little unsettled as well.
But he's 7.5, so he could also be an option to swap around with one of the cheaper strikers, and it can enhance one of my midfielders.
Another guy who had a great season last year.
I like that team a lot.
And Gyökeres, I think he could potentially be the top goal scorer this season. I think Arsenal have a good shout to win the league.
Apparently, Lonyo agrees with you. Now this I think is bold. I text you this when you sent it to me.
You did, yeah.
Gyökeres and Sesko, who are going double newbies.
Double newbies.
Up front.
And they're playing against each other on the first day.
I just, well, again, I'm a very emotional manager. And so the reason I've put those two up front is because a part of me hopes if they do well, then that means my team does well. And if they don't, that means I get to banter Arsenal and Man United fans in my group. So I've gone for those two up top. But I do think Gyökeres, little I've seen of him, will be a problem. He's a bit of a unit, and I think Arsenal will find a way of getting him them goals, and I think he could be the missing piece to definitely make a serious challenge. And Sesko as well, I like the look of. I think in that new front three, there'll be more emphasis on him. I think he's much more of an upgrade on Haaland. And so I think United at home to Arsenal, okay, I think that's going to be a draw, but maybe a 2-2 or something like that. So hopefully he gets one of the goals. Zubimendi, bearing in mind defenders that tackle and block, but also can pass forward and create stuff. I've put him in there. In Mbeumo, Mitoma, I always try and make space for a Brighton player because I think, especially him when he goes past people and
he got a lot of points last season.
He did, yeah. And Cole Palmer, who I just love as a player, I want to put him in there for his creativity and also goal threat. Gusto at the back. I think Chelsea again will be solid. Saliba, again, half of me rates him as a player. Now, other half means if Arsenal do concede goals, then I get to banter my Arsenal friends. Guéhi, hopefully he has a Liverpool shirt on, but I've gone for Guéhi. I thought he's played really well last week. And also Guardiola, which is someone who can defend but also be a goal threat. And then obviously big Alisson in goal.
So Alisson in goal, Gusto, Saliba, Guéhi. Guéhi, if he's now going to Liverpool, by your own rules, he's got to go.
Well, as does Alisson.
Oh yeah, wait, Alisson shouldn't be in there. Well, you said, no Liverpool.
But interestingly, both of you haven't gone for either Salah or Haaland as well, which is interesting as well.
Anyway, sorry, I was reading it, wasn't I?
I have gone for Palmer.
Let's read it through just for people who are listening rather than watching. Alisson in goal, Gusto, Saliba, Guéhi, Guardiola, and then Zubimendi, Mbeumo, Mitoma and Palmer, Gyökeres and Sesko.
I don't know if it's going to be a good game week 1 with this side.
I think it's gutsy.
Because the Man United Arsenal combination is heavy. And also I don't agree with him being as a third choice option substitute on the bench.
That formation will change. I promise you.
Gusto as well. I think I doubt he'll be starting for most of the start of the season. I think Reece James will probably start.
I saw it, but I was going to put Reece in, but he has a tendency to break down.
He does
in game. I've got this thought of him breaking down in the first. I don't wish it on him because I think he's a great player.
I was also on the Gvardiol bandwagon as well, but I realised, I said to myself, well, knowing how they're going to play now, Ait Nouri will be replacing Gvardiol's kind of like forward thing, because like Gvardiol last season was immense going down the left-hand side. So obviously he's still a goal threat from corners, but I don't think we're going to see him as much in the final thirds as he was last year.
All right, well, I can't avoid it any longer. Let's have a look at mine.
Ooh.
So,
very cheap back line.
So I'll read it out. Verbruggen in goal.
This team must be like 45 million.
Konsa, Van der Ven, Wan-Bissaka, Saka, Wirtz, Mbeumo, Kudus, Mamouche, João Pedro, who I've captained, and Gyökeres. So actually, I'm sort of guilty of what Lonyo's because I've sort of gone double new. João Pedro is not.
But also
New,
Salah, no
but-
Haaland or Palmer.
Yeah. That's just,
Yet.
Did you think you were spending your own money?
It's not your money,
He's
David. It's
saving
not your
money.
money. Yeah.
And then obviously he has
Release the
a
strings.
very, very expensive striker who's probably going to be very angry of coming back into this team,
Does
whether he
it?
even
Oh,
plays
exactly.
or not.
Oh yeah, wait. This was 3 days ago. Okay, what's probably going to happen? What's probably going to happen? Since so, as I said, Tuesday we're filming this, and Isak is have now said pretty much that he will never play for Newcastle again. The Liverpool thing's not going to be sorted. So I think I'm going to take out Isak and put in Salah.
Definitely.
And then I need a cheaper.
You must have
cheaper
money in the
forward.
bank for,
Yeah.
for
There's
that.
a
No, I
li-
think that's
thing is
100.
that-
I'm on like 100.
Who do you
No
who
way
do
is
you-
that 100.
Who do you take out of your midfield when you put Salah?
I will take out, I think, Wirtz, because he's in that. I'm not sure yet. He's one of
Yeah.
those midfielders who's going to be great, but I don't know if he's an FPL point scorer in the position he plays, because he's not going to get that many assists. He's not. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But
That team suggests
I
there's a
do
little
like
bit of
Wirtz.
Levy. There's a little bit of Levy in you there.
yeah.
I'd really like to know if your team is actually worth 100 million.
I've been beaten down by years of being a Tottenham fan, and
It's
being,
all you know.
being
Yeah,
repelled from spending any money.
Yeah. Florian Wirtz is one of the ones that I'm worried about. He could hit the ground running, and the early FPL guys that have gambled on him early might do well and have a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have talked me into maybe putting him into my team now. They'll break the rules now.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll see how we go. Let us know in the comments what you're picking for your teams in week 1, and in a moment we're going to find out who Bally here thinks has got the worst team. All right. Well, it is the moment of truth. Bally, you've obviously told us what your team is.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's now time to reveal, though, what Bally what Bally thinks is the best and worst team.
Very
The best
good.
and worst teams from this week, or this week coming up. So let's have a look.
Thank God you
We-
moved that robot
We
forward
have,
a little bit.
yeah, luckily we can still turn him off. He hasn't become sentient yet. Now, we've got 3 cards here. Thank you for our producer just passing me over the results here. There is. Let me just check this is the right one without reading it. Yeah, so that's if it's me. Lonyo, if it's you.
Yeah.
You two get the same one because you're both
course.
Chelsea fans. Who do you guys think has lost
I honestly
of the
don't
4 of
know.
us?
I think you haven't spent all your money.
I think it's between.
It's me and you. I think it's between me and you.
Yeah,
Dave,
I think it's
honestly.
between Lonyo
These
and
guys are
Dave.
very relaxed. The posture's changed.
Yeah, I'm actually quite comfy. I felt, you know
The
what?
posture's
Yeah.
changed when they saw our teams. Yeah. Very relaxed over here.
Very relaxed.
It's very relaxed.
Okay, well, as a reminder, the benchmark here, I can spoil that none of us have reached, is what the perfect team would be, which is 68.9 points, which is what Bally thinks he's getting. That's a score of 98% according to AI. Sully, you have a projected score this week, based on the squad you showed us, 59.8 points.
I'm very happy with that.
85% of
Decent.
how good it could
That's
be.
great.
Apparently.
I'm happy with that.
That's the mark we're all trying to beat now.
I'm under pressure.
I feel like
already.
my one's going to be down a bit because of my captaincy pick, but yeah, that's changing.
Sean, 53.8 points, which is a score of 76%.
I think that's purely Salah, and on the
Yeah.
captaincy. But
I'm under
I think
massive.
that's harsh.
The
I think
board,
your
the
team is
board
very
want a
good.
word. The
Yeah,
board want a
I
word.
didn't know. I didn't have Salah in there, but it's like I think my captain was Mamouche, and obviously I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to be Mamouche. He'll be João Pedro, so
Yeah.
probably the predicted points has been affected from that.
I
So,
agree.
I might be in trouble here with that.
Get your poetry reading.
Yes, I think I might
Voice
have to
ready.
all of a sudden.
Lonyo. 55.2.
Go on, Lonnie.
78%. So you're ahead of Sean.
Love that.
You're behind Sully. Sully's currently in the
Yeah.
lead.
Love that.
So that means Sully and Lonyo, you're both safe here.
Love that.
Fantastic.
So it's either
This
Sean
ain't good. I thought I was winning,
me.
but I forgot about the captaincy.
and mine. particularly because I hadn't changed it since Isak. Although I'm not sure if Isak's been taken out of the AI algorithm. Well, he wasn't even in my starting 11, so it shouldn't affect it too much. Spectacularly, 64.9
What
points.
the fuck? What the fuck
That's
are
what
you
Bally
talking about?
says.
That is not what.
That is what
Dave
Bally said. I
Bradshaw
promise
said.
you.
Stuart.
I
I'll
promise
just
you.
ask Bally
We'll
now.
have
Go on.
independent people look.
What do you think, Bally? Well, I agree with you, Dave. Everything you say is right and correct.
92% score.
But I haven't spent all
my
my money.
gosh.
Well, you don't need to, Dave, because you're so perfect
Massive.
and
There is
wonderful.
no corruption.
And you're
Honestly.
handsome. Well,
Promise.
you don't need to say that, Bally. Thank you,
All
Bally.
of that without moving the hand. Love that.
Which,
Love that work.
which means I'm innocent. It does mean, Sean,
I can't believe that one.
Absolutely
because
outrageous.
I have by far the best human team
Yeah.
of anyone,
I think
despite only spending about 20 quid. It means that Sean, you're going to actually don't pick it up
Yeah,
yet,
let me
because
not look
before
yet.
we
Let
do,
marinate.
Let it marinate.
Yeah,
we're
Yeah.
just going to go through what's coming up over the rest of the week. Opening game of the season, Liverpool versus Bournemouth Friday night. Saturday, Villa and Newcastle in the lunchtime game. It's Brighton and Fulham. Tottenham at home against Burnley should be an easy 3 points for us to start the season. Sunderland and West Ham. And then Wolves against Man City, the 5:30 game on Saturday. Sunday, it's Chelsea, you guys at home against an enraged Crystal Palace team. Nottingham Forest against Brentford. Man United against Arsenal is the big 4:30 game on Sunday. And Monday night, it's Leeds against Everton. What's the juiciest fixture there? Is it United-Arsenal, or has anyone got their views on anyone else?
Surely.
Definitely.
Gyökeres Šeško is going to be a really...
2-2.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love a 2-2.
Love a 2-2.
Love a
It's a
Desmond.
Desmond. Love a
Love a
Desmond.
Desmond.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Yeah.
Anyone? There's Villa Newcastle, I think, is interesting.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Because they're
but
two
it's-
who have been, they're around that top
Have
4,
Villa,
top 5 mark.
Villa bought anyone?
I was actually having that conversation on the way up with a couple of my friends, and I was just like, I feel like Aston Villa are going under the radar of maybe potentially being able to be top 5 again for next season, in and around that kind of area, because they haven't really lost anyone really. Like they've got, obviously Marcus Rashford was a loanee player anyway, but I feel like their squad is quite stacked.
Yeah. And Newcastle have had a shocker in the transfer
That's the
window.
only,
They've
it's
got a
more
beast.
of the in-house kind of problems of the mood. So,
Yeah.
but that will be a good game for the first game week.
And it's getting worse for the Isak thing, so we'll see how things go
Yeah.
for Newcastle. Last piece of business we need to take care of before, I'm looking forward to this from Sean, but before we get it, next week, so from this week onward, well, from next week onwards, I should say, there will be obviously a game week to report on coming out of each episode. So we will be picking whoever has had the worst game week with their squad, whoever's got the lowest points will do the forfeit. We're not relying on Bally, which is frankly a shame because
Bally's done me in here.
He
Bally,
seems to be-
yeah.
I think he's a solid guy, Bally.
Yeah.
Definitely with your
But-
predicted
Yeah.
points.
whoever ends up with the lowest points next week will have to do a forfeit. Any ideas? What are we going to do for a forfeit next week?
Well, I did suggest earlier, kill a boy. But everyone said that's illegal and shouldn't be allowed. So
But
I'm
it's
out of
good. It is
ideas.
good to get the bad ideas out.
Shave our heads, but me and Shawnee are halfway
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
So
we
we're
are.
already
We
halfway
are.
there.
Yeah,
They don't even really
Sullivan,
affect
So you're
really.
only left with killer boys. Currently, only left
Grow a
with
beard, maybe.
Yeah,
grow a beard. Say I love you to the woman that you let go many years ago.
Has anyone who's not Sullivan got any ideas?
So I love you to the woman or man.
Yeah, or man, could be man, could be man,
Or-
could,
yeah.
yeah, it could be anything. Betray a best friend.
Why's the boom mic all
In
the
a
way over
meaningful
there?
All right. Well, how about we're going poetry this week? Sean, you had an idea you were saying before we went on air. Do you want to share?
Oh, what for next week's one?
Yeah, next week.
Potentially, obviously, getting mugs and having drinks in them and having the rival team of the person that's on it
Okay.
in front of them and having to drink from
I like
the
it.
rival cup.
So, for example, throughout the show, if in the unlikely event, apparently, that I come last, then I'd have to drink from an Arsenal
Yep.
cup.
Yeah.
If we ever, I don't know we haven't figured out exactly who's on the panel next week. If we have an Arsenal fan, then I am literally getting a replica of the Europa League trophy for them to drink.
You have to clear it. You have to clear it with finances. 'cause
Throughout the
That's
show.
expensive mugs.
Yeah.
Plus the drinks. We've got to put that all in expenses.
It's priceless, Lonyo, is what it is.
Oh, okay,
it's
fair.
a priceless trophy.
Fill
All
it
right,
with
so
the
that's
spit
next
of the
week.
other players.
Someone is going to be drinking from the mug of their arch nemesis next week throughout the show. So without further ado, Sean, if you want to look down the lens, address the audience, and read what ball he's written.
Just so all my Chelsea fans know, I'm very sorry about this one. But here we go. We are Chelsea. We're famous for buying our fame. Before Roman came, we were barely a name. The rubles rolled in and the titles appeared. But deep down, we know why the rivals all jeered. We brag of the Club World Cup on our shelf, but no one cares, not even ourselves. It's football's most pointless, embarrassing trinket. One in a week, then forgotten, don't blink it. And Stamford Bridge, oh, it's falling apart. A cramped little ground with no beating heart. The seats are all creaky, the view lines are poor. You've seen better stands at your local park tour. So here I confess that it's painful and true. We are Chelsea, and without cash, we've got nothing to do.
Thanks, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
That's like a punishment for me.